Welcome to the Nerf Report. My name is Brian Chappelle, and this is getting posted the day before Christmas, so Merry Christmas! And by some chance you're watching this after Christmas, hope you had a good Christmas! Either way, we have a ton of gaming news to talk about. Right off the bat, Harambe is getting a video game. We dive headfirst into Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Ubisoft gives us a look at the upcoming Avatar video game, and finally, Twitch debuts a reality TV show that looks like it's going to be a train wreck. For the week of December 18th, this is the Nerf Report.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
It was just 18 months ago when Harambe, the gorilla from the Cincinnati State Zoo, was shot and killed after approaching a child who climbed into his exhibit. But since that day, Harambe has ascended to next-level memedom. Well, to quote Obi-Wan Kenobi, if you strike my memes down, they're only going to come back stronger than you could possibly imagine. And it looks like Harambe has come back stronger than ever in the form of Harambee Kong. Harambee Kong is a new retro-style arcade game in which you play as Harambe, catching food for points. If you touch a child, you get shot by a zookeeper and lose. Currently, Harambee Kong can only be played as Spacebar Arcade in Boise, Idaho. However, its creator, Tyler Sailing, is hoping to have it on the iOS, Steam, and Xbox store by February of 2018. Well, in other gaming news, Ubisoft, who is currently developing the upcoming Avatar video game, gave gamers a small glimpse at what they can expect from the upcoming title. Earlier this year, Ubisoft Montreal and Massive Entertainment teased a first look at Avatar the game, in which players will be transported into the world of Pandora. Well, in an interview with IGN this week, Massive Entertainment gave gamers a small glimpse into what the game is going to be. In fact, David Polfelt, the managing director of Massive Entertainment, had this to say. What Cameron said is that everyone who walks out of Avatar the movie, and it will be like this thing with the next movie, has a dream that we can fulfill. And this is to go to Pandora and exist on Pandora, and live an alternative life on Pandora. That's what you can do in this game. For us, it's an honor, but it's also amazing to work with the best people in Hollywood, to create things that no one has seen, or to build upon ideas that they've had but didn't make it into the movies. This partnership is really creating things, new things, together with the same teams that are making the movie. Ubisoft currently has the Avatar video game slated for release in their fiscal year of 2021, and that's still a really long way away. However, this interview speaks upon something bigger. It speaks on the fact that gaming developers are listening and learning. I grew up in a generation where every single movie seemed to get a video game. Lord of the Rings, here's a bunch of video games. Harry Potter, hey, here's a bunch of video games. You like King Kong? You're gonna love this King Kong video game. Oh, you like Iron Man? Here's this fantastic Iron Man video game. But it really seems like Ubisoft has kind of moved forward, and that they're listening to what fans want and wanting to create an experience that the movies can't get you. You see, I love going to a movie, but there is that moment where I leave a movie and I'm like, man, what would it be like to live in that world? That's where video games step in. The idea that I can leave an Avatar movie and go home and feel just like I'm taking part in that movie? That's a fantastic idea. The live streaming platform Twitch was in the news this week as they announced a brand new competition for its partnered streamers. Stream On is a new game show premiering in March 2018. The program will elevate some of the best and brightest up-and-coming streamers. Stream On contestants will face challenges designed to test important streamer skills and will be evaluated by a panel of Twitch judges. The winner of the competition will take home a grand prize of $60,000 that'll be paid over 12 months in $5,000 increments. Now, I understand what Twitch is trying to do here. They are trying to promote from within and take somebody who's an up-and-comer and say, hey, this is the guy that the community voted for. They said he's the biggest, the best thing on Twitch. Come check him out. That being said, I think it's really unfair that they're not allowing their Twitch affiliates to take part of this. I know a ton of Twitch affiliates who deserve that spot on the show just as much as a partnered streamer. Whether a partner streamer, because their partner deserves it more, that's a completely different debate. But I feel like this should be an equal opportunity for all streamers. It kind of takes away from the importance or the validity of it. Also, I think this is going to make Twitch very political. You're going to have a lot of divided fan bases fighting and bickering, and it's going to create a ton of drama. Either way, I cannot wait to see how this unfolds. If it becomes a success, bravo to Twitch for innovating. But if it becomes a train wreck and a burning trash truck, I cannot wait to watch this. Star Wars The Last Jedi has made a buttload of money. I mean, who's surprised about that? Forbes is actually reporting that Star Wars The Last Jedi on its opening box office weekend made $500 million worldwide. It's incredible. I was going to cover Star Wars last week. I saw it on the Thursday before last week's Nerf Report, but in the hopes for not spoiling it for people, I figured I would wait a week and then talk about what I thought about the film. That being said, if you have not seen Star Wars The Last Jedi, spoiler alert at DEF CON 5. I feel like it's important that I need to start this off by saying that I love Star Wars. I was really excited to see The Last Jedi. I did not like Force Awakens. I was of the minority. I thought that it was too much like A New Hope, and it wasn't a good introduction for all of these new characters. Plus, they killed Han Solo. I warned you, spoilers. That being said, I went to The Last Jedi extremely optimistic. I wanted to really like this trilogy, and after watching the movie, I sat in my seat and I was like, what the heck, Disney? The Last Jedi is the most jam-packed, confusing, nonsensical Star Wars that I think I've ever seen. The entire movie, you're under the impression that Luke Skywalker is going to save the day because that's what they told you in the previous film, The Force Awakens. They spent the entire time saying, we've got to discover Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker will know how to fix all of our problems. And then when we discover Luke Skywalker, we get 2 hours and 33 minutes of whiny Luke Skywalker.
Oh, woe is me, my Padawan thinks I'm a villain. Oh, woe is me, I gave birth to the dark side. Oh, woe is me, I'm so depressed that I live here on an island all alone.
And yes, the Star Wars fans out there will point out that Luke Skywalker has always been a whiny character. I don't know what you're complaining about. And I agree with that. In A New Hope, Luke, instead of wanting to help his uncle, was like, I don't want to clean these droids. I want to go down to the Tashi station with all my friends. But when you spend the entire first act of your trilogy explaining that this is going to be the guy that is going to save the day, he is going to bring balance to the Force and destroy the First Order, and then you don't deliver on that, instead you give us a completely different character, you can kind of understand why we're a little upset. Now, I can put up with the whiny Luke Skywalker faster than anyone because it's a Star Wars movie, and Star Wars is awesome. But that being said, there was so much stuff that annoyed me in this movie. For example, Poe, right? He's in his ship looking down the First Order right at the beginning of the movie. And he prank calls the First Order and he's like, oh, I'll hold. And he does a stupid back and forth. It took any of the believability or intimidation out of the First Order completely away from them. Like, it made them look like idiots. And you're supposed to tell me that those idiots are actually winning the war and the rebellion is losing. So, really, Poe, what does it say about the rebellion and yourself if these idiots are able to conquer the galaxy? You know what would have made that scene so much better? Is if the First Order blew him up. Is he pulled off the, the prank call and he's like, oh, hey, I'll hold, and then boom, they blow him out of the sky. No one would have saw that coming. Then there was another weird moment where Leia dies and she force pulls herself back into the spaceship and somehow comes back to life. And I'm just sitting there being like, you literally had the perfect send-off for Princess Leia. Carrie Fisher, unfortunately, has passed away, and we're all wondering how you're going to kill her, and when it happened, I was like, I can deal with that. I understand why you had to do it, But then you bring her back to life, and I'm like, oh, what are we doing here, people? Okay, I'll let you tell the story. And then apparently there's this thing called Force FaceTime, where at any given moment a Jedi can see a Sith or another Jedi and communicate with them. And multiple times Rey and Kylo have conversations, and Luke and Kylo have conversations, but my whole thought was like, where was this throughout the entire Star Wars universe? Like, no other Jedi has this power, because this would have been extremely convenient throughout the entire film. Like, I could imagine Obi-Wan being like, Anakin, why are you with all these Sith Lords? Or Yoda being like, guys, we gotta find Count Dooku, and Mace Windu's like, don't worry, I got it. Oh, he's on the planet of Geonosis. Let's go get him. I mean, even more importantly, like the Jedi Council. No one on the Jedi Council could have used this Force FaceTime and be like, hey guys, Senator Palpatine? Yeah, he's a Sith. I just FaceTimed into his closet, and there's way too many black robes in there. And then there's other small stuff, like they give Snoke 2 scenes and then kill him off, but they redeem that with a cool lightsaber battle. Yoda makes an appearance, which should have been Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I know the director's like, here's why I didn't use Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it's like, Luke Skywalker is old. He feels alone, and he feels like he has ruined the Force by some of his decisions. You know who else felt old, alone, and feels like he ruined the Force by his decisions? Obi-Wan Kenobi. And hey, that guy happened to give this guy his lightsaber. Maybe those two should talk. I mean, the movie frustrated me in so many ways, because I genuinely wanted to like this movie. I can deal with not liking Force Awakens, like it's one movie, but the fact that 2 out of the 3 trilogy movies I haven't liked is not a good sign for Star Wars. But I think what the real issue here is the story structure for the new Skywalker saga. And honestly, I think it's just they didn't tell the story correctly. Every story needs a beginning, a middle, and an end. And currently, I think we've got a good middle and an end, but the beginning was just horrible. If I were to have written the new Star Wars movies, Episode 7 would have been the introduction to Luke's Jedi Temple, and how he's training brand new Jedis to take over for the fallen empire of Jedis. And Kylo Ren's moving to the dark side, and the destruction of the Jedi Temple, and the rise of the First Order, because these are important details. These are the foundation to the story. This is why we're watching. We need to understand why stuff from Force Awakens and The Last Jedi even matter. Because currently, all of that stuff has just been brushed over, and it's like, oh yeah, the First Order, they're the new bad guys. And Kylo Ren, yeah, he got betrayed by Luke, but hey, you don't need to worry about that. We'll give you like a 2-minute little teaser of what happened. That's not okay. Every story needs a beginning. And every story needs a good foundation, and that's a foundation you could have built on. You could have even used The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi as Episode 8 and 9. You just needed a better beginning. But that's not the reality that we live in, and that's not the Star Wars we have. We, myself, have to deal with the Star Wars that we have today. But I'm more interested in what you guys thought. Did you like The Last Jedi? What was your favorite part? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I need to be a little more understanding? Or are you like me and you just think that this was a little bad Star Wars movie? They really need to rethink the next one. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Finally, for this week, we come to my favorite segment, Nerfed in 60 Seconds. Every single week there's just so much news to talk about and so little time to do it, so we take all of the week's remaining news, put 60 seconds on the clock, and try to cover as much as humanly possible. So with that in mind, let's put 60 seconds on the clock and go. If you're not feeling old enough already, prepare yourselves, because Final Fantasy turned 30 years old this week. Amazon is currently adapting a television series based off the comic The Boys, and has casted Erin Moriarty to play Starlight herself. Bungie fans, get excited because we've got a brand new Destiny webcomic featuring the character of Osiris. Lord of the Rings director Peter Jackson gave us a trailer for his upcoming movie Mortal Engines, and this literally blew my mind. We got leaked screenshots from Kingdom Hearts 3 showing a Monsters Incorporated planet, and I will speak for the rest of the world in saying, if this game doesn't come out in 2018, I'm going to lose my freaking mind. iPhone users got a bootleg version of Cuphead, but before you go to the market, it's already been taken down. PUBG left early access on PC. Chocobos are in Assassin's Creed Origins. Brawlout is now on the Switch. Nexus Mods is paying mod developers. Pokemon Go AR Plus is now out with the winter update. And finally, Apple is restricting loot boxes and many of the games, saying that you have to show the probability of the item before they buy the loot box. I think we did it. And with that, that is it for this week's episode of the Nerf Report. If you like what you saw, make sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, but please, more importantly, share it with your friends. As always, my name is Brian Chappell. You are you, and this has been the Nerf Report. Thanks for watching.